Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. We've got Jay from Delaware Life here. Very excited to have him on. This is Delaware Life's new income product. And so with today's market volatility, I'm sure you guys are all having some pretty concerned clients. And then you've also got some clients that are coming into retirement and needing some supplemental income. This certainly has been a top player for me. I've been talking about it quite a bit ever since they launched this. So certainly very excited to have Jay himself talking on this. Delaware Life is an A- carrier, very strong, been around for a long time. So without further ado, I'm just going to talk about IMS a little bit for some of our newcomers and for some of our IMS contracted agents. This is a great reminder as to some of the value propositions that we have here at IMS. So certainly feel free to give us a call after this. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Several different propositions. And so for our newcomers, we do have our new producer builders. This is for our newly contracted IMS agents. So if you don't know too much about IMS, I do highly encourage you to see everything that we have here because we are truly an independent IMO. We work independently. We are privately owned, family owned, and so the core values that we have are very traditional. And with that, I know a lot of clients typically do like the traditional type of approach. We work with you in that same aspect. So when you are new here, you do have new producer builders to help you grow your production here with IMS. At the $100,000 level, you see that you start receiving good benefits like you could have $750 cash, iPad, 1,500 piece postcard mailing. Marketing is a huge thing, as you know. And so with $100,000 of annuity premium or life equivalent, you can get up to this first tier in your first 180 days with that premium submitted. This goes all the way up to the $1 million level. So as you can see on this slide here, there are several things in between, and it goes from 100,000 all the way up to $1 million. So the one thing I will say too here is do not be limited if you have something that you already incorporate, if you have something that you've been interested in, or if we talk to you about something that piques your interest. This is also a great point of conversation that we can have together to see if this is something that we can add to your new producer builder. We do also have as another incentive our referred producer program. So with our referred producer program, any agent that you are referring over to IMS, you will get a nice override on. Now that doesn't mean that you are building an agency, but of course we do have our agency building program as well, our IMS Partners program. But for those that don't want to be building an agency, don't want to have all that responsibility, you're more of a one man, one woman type of show, this is great. These are personally our owner's favorite checks to sign because the best compliment you can get is a referral. The best thank you you could give us is a referral. Now, as you can see, you get a $50 one-time bonus when the agent gets contracted and when they start submitting business, life target, indexed annuity, single premium life, MIGAs, you do get a certain percentage of that. So these are paid on a quarterly status, so certainly a lot of incentive on that end for your agent and advisor friends. We do also have our marketing reimbursement. This marketing reimbursement, also known as our marketing dollars program, once you graduate the new producer builders, the 180 days, we graduate you to our marketing dollars program where we pay you $100 toward every $100,000 of FIA premium. So for example, if you are writing the Delaware Life New Income product, that $100, if you're doing $100,000 premium, that $100 will go straight back into your marketing. And then the same thing with life insurance equivalent. So it's $200 per every $100,000 of a premium, and then $200 per $10,000 of premium life target. So certainly got a lot of good incentive there, but also good ways to increase your marketing budget. We do also offer back office support. Of course, I'm biased. I work here, but also coming from the field, I see how important it is to have good office support, good back office support. And I would say what makes us stand out from the crowd is the people that we have here. You know, we are the only ones that have a Mackenzie Abbott. We are the only ones that have a Natalie Goss for Athene. We're the only ones that have Ben Lopez. There's all of our case managers are so, so good. And I mention that on a personal basis because when you work with IAMS, you have the case managers here assisting you to get your policies to issue as quickly and effectively as possible. And so if you ever get the chance to talk to them, you see that they far exceed your expectations when it comes to case management. And so that is a heavy part in back office support, of course, but we do also have life and annuity quoters. We have a great team, Nikita and Rick. They do a really great job. They get you your quotes and illustrations really quick on the annuity side. So if you wanted an illustration for a Delaware Life's income product right after this, you can definitely count on them to have that back to you within the day. So definitely give us a call, see what other kind of back office support we have. Our IAMS website, that's available to you 24/7, highly secure. We've got great security measures on it. We've even hired a whole team here to be taking care of this security. But on that too, we do also have specific tools that are for you. We have our sales resources library with tons of information I even haven't had the chance to look all through because there's just too much on there. We've got for our life insurance people, you also have coding that you can do easily right when you're in front of the client. You can utilize this. We also have that for annuities. If you're doing income quotes, and if you ever do get the chance to access Annuity Rate Watch as an IAMS contracted agent, you get that for free. But if you do see that, you'll see Delaware Life come out quite a bit on top if you're running quotes for income. Next, we have our eApp solutions. This is just a nice list of the software that we utilize. I'm sure you're all familiar with Firelight, iPipeline, all that good stuff. We do have Luma now. Luma has a great life cycle feature where if you have all of your business subscribed to Luma Firelight, you can actually see over time which carriers and which products that you've sold, which of those policies are going to be coming out of surrender. So that's a great way to track your business. We've definitely done that quite a bit for some of our producers that have been around for a long time. We've been able to say, hey, this contract is about to come out of surrender. What would you like to do with it? And it's always a great reminder to them because agents, of course, you all have so much going on, so many moving pieces. It's nice to have a friendly face reach out and say, hey, you got business in your backyard. What are we doing with it? Next, we have creative services. I think we have the best creative team, not only because of who they are, but because they're in-house. So most other places, they outsource all of this, all of the agency solutions, digital solutions, turnkey solutions. We're really blessed to just have them in-house where I can just go walk up to their office and say, hey, what's going on with so-and-so's website? We have something missing here, blah, 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 all the good stuff. Every Tuesday to really make sure that all of our agents are taken care of, and what their offerings are agency solutions that can help you with the logo, and all the creative needs that you have on paper, all collateral, digital solutions. They do all of the digital solutions, so website design, hosting and maintaining a website, email marketing, different campaigns, lots of good stuff, and then turnkey solutions. If you are someone that leaves stuff behind, they handle that for you as well. So lots of good stuff. Next, we do have our IAMS Wealth Management. If you are an aspiring advisor, looking to get onto the security side, we have a great starter program. And also, I will say our IAMS Wealth Management team, they are some of the nicest financial advisors that I have ever met. Um, and they really know how to get down to business. They are, of course, on the AUM side, but certainly if you are aspiring, wanting to get into that, I would give them a call. But if you've also been around for a really long time, they also do that as well. They have great account relationships. So certainly would encourage you to get on a call or maybe just inquire about it if you're at all interested. Life and Annuity Academy, we just had one last week actually. And so we have about 3 more coming up. Our first one, or our next one, is going to be the first week of June, I believe. And we cover so many different topics. It's a 3-day event and it is all expense paid. Certainly a great place to have a lot of knowledge, to network with other high producing agents, and also to meet the staff here at IAMS. It's nice to know who you're doing business with. So certainly give me a call. Let me know you're interested in this, because it is a great experience, especially if you are trying to grow your revenue. And then we're almost coming to the end here, I promise, but this is a great slide to have up. Our trek to Quebec. This is our incentive trip that we're doing with IAMS. We have a couple different ones going on because, of course, some carriers have incentive trips, but we do offer an IAMS Top Producer Summit. So this is for all IAMS business, and it's been an 18-month qualification period. This will be coming to an end here on June 30th this summer. So you still have time to get some points in. Certainly give us a call to see how close you are if you're on our list. So definitely let me know if this is something that you're interested in. We do one of these per year, so certainly would love to see new faces every year. And that would be it. These are our social buttons, Facebook, LinkedIn. That way you can keep your tabs on us, see what we're up to. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Jay.
Thanks, Kat. And that
Yeah.
location, I've been out to that location in Quebec. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's a
Is it?
great spot. Oh yeah,
Nice.
you got a great spot to have a trip here. So we'll zoom in a little bit here. So thank you guys for making the time today. To give you a little background on Delaware Life for who's ever just newer to us. We've been with IAMS for a number of years, about 3 or 4 years, but we actually have contracts going back to the late 70s or early 80s. Delaware Life was Sun Life of the U.S., which had acquired Keyport, which was one of the original creators of the FIAs back in 1995. So we have a number of people who've worked here for a long time, a lot of history, a lot of relationships in the industry as well. So we're not just some new startup. One of the other questions that we get asked is, are you private equity? No, we're actually privately owned. We're owned by a group of individuals, but it's not a private equity firm. As Scott mentioned before, we are A- across the board, and we've invested about $30 million into our operational platform. So we handle everything internally now. We do not use any third party. We do not outsource any of our operations or licensing and contracting commissions or anything like that. So everything is now in-house. This product here on the right is called True Path Income we're going to cover today. This kind of rounds out our full product suite. So we do have, a MIGA product, which IAMS has access to, a 5, 7, and 10-year FIA accumulation product with a 10-year with a bonus as well, plus 2 unique products, an additional longer-term income product, and then some accumulation products that have a 13% bonus on them. So IAMS has access to everything that's here because they're part of our limited and our national suite of products as well. The product I'm going to focus on today, though, is True Path. This just came out on March 24th, so it's about 2.5 weeks old now. It is, as Scott mentioned, probably showing up, and hence the attendance to the event. A #1 income product in the industry, both in short and longer durations. And I'm going to show you how it works. So at inception, or when you sign the apps, you're going to get 3 real choices. The first choice you're going to have to let us know is, are you going to do single or joint income? So that does have to be picked at inception. And the second choice is, what style of income are you going to do? So we give you 2 options: the ready strategy, which gives you a 25% bonus on the benefit base, and then 6.75% roll up from there, compounding. So really what happens after the first contract year, which is the first time you can turn on income, turn on the income rider, excuse me, you're up 31.75% out of the gates. So your ready strategy is going to fit really well for someone looking to turn on income after year 1 through year 5, 6. The other option you can pick is if you're looking for income later on, and that fits the 7, 8, 9, 10 window, is the build strategy. On this, there is no benefit base bonus, so there's nothing right out of the gates, but what you get is 9.75% compounding each year. So that larger compounding value over the duration of time of 7, 8, 9, 10 years is going to put this as a top product. So you have to pick joint or single income, ready or build strategy. And the last thing you have to pick, and this is choice number 3, is what type of income do they want when they turn on income? So you can do level, which everyone knows. That's very straightforward. You pick one set of payout factors as $1 amount that you get. Or we have an option for rising income, which I'm going to show you a little bit more later on, and that's tied to the performance of the account. So you have a certain set of payout factors, but the income can actually increase as the returns on the index increase. So I wasn't kidding here when I said that this is top of market. If you've all seen a heat map before, so this is based off of, someone say age 58, turning on income in 4 years. So 62, we are 100%. If you see 100%, that means we're number 1. The decimals or percentages above that just means by how much. So number 1 by $20, depending on the amount, could be 200, etc. So I call this the sea of green, and what you see is a lot of hundreds. So a lot of the important sectors like 63 turning on at 66, we're number 1. 63 turning on at 64, 65, we're number 1. 66 turning on at 67, number 1. So there's a lot of hundreds here. And what that shows you is that this product is top of market for these different segments. Now I will say this, because we were talking about the ready and build strategy. So ready is years 1 through 7 in here, okay, 1 through the end of 7. 8, 9, 10, 11 is the build strategy. So the ones that have the 9.75% compounding, you can see from ages 50 to 69 turning on income 10 years down the road, we dominate that sector. And not only are we 100, but we're 105, we're 100 by a good amount. So a very powerful option there for long term as well. So you could use it for short term, or you could use it for long term. It's almost 2 products in one. And when I say who we're beating, this is age 61 deferring 1 year, so on our thing, so 61 turning on in 1 year. This product's income is better than Corebridge, Equitrust, F&G, Athene, and American Equity Income Shield. It also shows our fee is comparable at 1.2. Some are a little bit lower, some are actually a little bit higher, but it's right in the range there. So highly competitive income for your clients there. So your ready strategy, as I mentioned, on $100,000 is going to give you 25, and then the 6.75 after year 1. So really, over a 5-year window, what that equates to is a 73% increase. So $100,000 is going to look like 173 over 5 years with the 6.75 compounding rate. With the build strategy, once again, that's nice and easy, 9.75. We do offer a step up. So if the account value were to ever exceed the 9.75% compounding, and that mathematically would only happen in the first 1, 2, 3 years potentially. We will step up the benefit base to the higher account value number, and then from there we would go ahead and do the 9% compounding off of that stepped up amount. So just a little extra in there. You can see on $100,000 that we have a benefit base at 268 through 10 years. So really nice guaranteed growth there. Level income, I'm sure you're all comfortable with level. I touched on that lately. So you set, you turn on income at a certain point in time, and that's the dollar amount for the remainder of their life. Nice and easy. Here's the rising income. This is pretty interesting. So you pick this option at inception. You have a separate set of payout factors, and let's say client turned on the rider, and their income was going to be $7,746 a year. And in that year, whatever index they used, and these are very conservative, of course, it returned 2%. Well, not only their accumulation value would go up by the 2%, but will increase the payout by 2% as well. So that now increases to 7,901. The next year in this example went up 5%. So it went from 7,901. The account value went up 5%, of course, but the income base is now 8,296. So in this example, I want to show you two negatives. So in the next 2 years, we had down years per se, like we're all probably feeling right now. Well, this would hold. Like an FIA, the income base is going to hold at its bottom number, which is the stepped up amount. And the next year it went up 6%. So 6%, 8,296 went up to 8,793. So you can see how you have some definite combinations of doing the ready strategy for the shorter term with level or rising income, and same with build. You can do build and plan it out for 8, 9, 10 years, and then opt for the level income where most of the business will go, but there is that rising option as well. So really unique in the sense where it ties back to the accumulation of the contract. Lastly, if the product wasn't already strong enough, from an income standpoint, we are the only A-rated carrier in the business that is doing a doubler with this feature. So the doubler, or chronic illness income multiplier, is based solely up to a 6 ADL. So what's nice about that is it's not tied to a location or confinement in a medical home or anything like that. It can be used for home care as well. It's driven solely by the ADLs. Secondly, we hold, whether it's single or joint life, we hold the doubler at 200%. So some other carriers drop the doubler down to 150 if it's joint life. We do not. We leave it at 200%. And here's the big differentiator. We will pay this doubler out for 5 years as long as there is a value in the accumulation or the account value when they turn it on. If that value goes to 0 while the multiplier is turned on, we will continue to pay out the 200%. So let me give you an example. Let's say they turn this thing on, they only, they're getting $20,000 a year, so the doubler will jump to 40, and they had 60,000 left in the account. Obviously, in 2 years' time, that doubler will wipe out the account value. Every other carrier will then bring the doubler back down to 100%, or pretty much eliminate it. We will pay that $40,000, that doubled amount, for the additional 3 years. So we will pay, once this is turned out, even if the account value goes to 0, we will pay the doubled amount for 5 years. And then after that, it'll just go down to its natural or 100% income. So pretty cool. That's a really strong component here. Now, in regards to the product specs, this contract will go to 85 as well. It's a $25,000 minimum. So I know most 10 years out there really only go to 80. This will go to 85. Without any prior approval, you can write up to $2 million. If you do want to go over that number, please reach out to myself, reach out to Kat. We'll, of course, I'm sure, get you the approval for it. So that shouldn't be an issue, but you can go out to 2 million all by yourself without even engaging Delaware Life. In regards to the free amount, we do give you a 10% free amount in year 1. And what's really nice about that is that even though you can't turn on the actual income until after the first year, What this allows you to do is it allows your clients to kind of supplement, like if they needed income earlier on or needed a portion of some income earlier on, they could take out up to 10% of the contract value, use that as income for that year, and then turn on the income after year one. So a nice little middle ground there to kind of manually control it. The other thing that we can do is we can illustrate that on our software as well. So we can show you what it looks like if they were to take out income in year one, how that impacts the roll-ups, bonuses, the income payouts, all that. So it'll be crystal clear for you. So even though this is kind of an income product after year one, you can still use it for income right away if you need it. It's available in all states except New York. One differentiator is California is a little tough on the doubler. So the product is available in California. There is just no doubler or chronic illness waiver or rider on there. There's no charge to it as well as it's built in. Commissions, we pay 7% on this as well. And this also is part of our overall compensation program. If you were to sell Delaware Life in general, any one of our FIAs, 3 to 6 million will pay extra commission. 6 to 10, same thing. The 5 and 7 year apply to this. The 10 years, of course, have a little bit more comp there. So as you go through these tiers, let's say you get to tier 3, you've sold 11 million with us. Instead of 7% commission, on the 10-year stuff, you'd get the equivalent of 8.5. We retroactively apply that, of course. So as you go through the tiers, you sure up through the duration. But lastly, what we'll do with this is we will grandfather that number into next year. So when everything resets to 0, you would start 2026 getting 8.5% commission, as opposed to starting with 7 and having to rebuild the tiers up and us retroactively applying it. We actually grandfather it in going forward. So a nice little feature there. This product does have our same investment options. So here's target growth, our straightaway 10-year accumulation product, with S&P caps, triggers, all that. Here's True Path Income, our 10-year income product. You still have a cap of 6% on it, a trigger of 5, decent participation rate. You also have access to the other indices like the S&P intraday with a 50 par, Goldman with a 90 par. So even though this is designed as a guaranteed income product, it's still very strong in the accumulation. We don't forego it in any way, shape, or form, because part of accumulation is that's the death benefit. That's the legacy that they could live behind. You want to continue to be able to make money within this product. So that is the summary of the product, the rates, the features, everything that I really had for you today. I know Kat has this planned out for an hour, but the beauty of it is it's so simple and so straightforward that you don't really need the full amount of time. So it's an easier conversation to have with the clients as you illustrate and show it. Kat, I didn't know if you had any questions come through the chat or any questions that came up that I can answer for anyone right now. No, pretty straight away.
Oh, so sorry. I was
Yeah,
muted there for a second and then I was
no worries.
having audio issues. But yeah, it looks like there were a few questions here. It looks like,
Okay,
well, actually, yeah, there's a few questions here. So let me go ahead and get through them.
sure.
So it looks like Mirage had some questions. Ticket to Works insurance of insurance policies findings. Mirage, I don't know what that exactly means, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a call after this. That way we can clarify what you're looking for, design of benefits and wages, field office discussing. I think these are things more for our back office support, Jay. My
Okay,
apologies there.
no worries.
Workplace tips, computer at work. Let's see. Quotes. Yes, definitely. We can get you some quotes on this. So, Jay, the nice part is this product is really picking up a lot of traction. One,
Oh,
when
yeah.
I am quoting this on Annuity Rate Watch, it comes out right on top. That 25% income bump, that's a really nice thing. Then you see the nice enhanced death benefit on the side, and then been talking about that chronic illness waiver or rider as well. It's nice that it is ADL based, so
Mhm.
I do like that feature to it. And so I've already had some quotes come in for this particular product. So
Perfect.
that's been nice. Yeah.
And if your team needs something like a quick view,
Hmm.
if you use product.delawarelife.com, so this
Hmm.
doesn't require a login. This is our microsite. And then
Oh,
you see
very nice.
True Path is right here. So you can get our rate sheet if you need, here's our IMO sales desk as well and contacts. So all this stuff's right here. And once again, this no login required, but if you click on True Path, right, you can get all the literature and brochures and all that stuff right here, nice and easy. But there's a one here called calculators. And then you click on the first one, how much. This brings you to a quick, solve calculator for you. So you can solve for, how much do you need or how much do you want? So initial premium person. So you could go here and do, $100,000, pick the strategy, ready, level, single life, what their current age is, 60, deferring years for 4, and then hit next. And that's only from an income standpoint. It's going to show you what the benefit base would be and what the dollar amounts would be. And then you can play with it and say, okay, actually I want to go and I want to change this. I want to see 10 years and I want to use the longer strategy, or excuse me, ready. I want to use build. What is that going to look like? So turn it on at 70, here's the dollar amount. So this is all, as you saw me move through it, at your fingertips, no login required. So if you remember that product.delawarelife.com, that's a microsite that's available for everyone to use. Marketers, back office, client, agents, obviously. We prefer not the clients to know about it. It's kind of hidden in that sense, but it's right
Mm,
here for you.
very
So nice
nice.
and
Oh,
easy.
and it's so
Yeah.
simple too. I love it.
Yeah, that's the beauty. You can back into someone if they're like, I want to get $24,000 a year, and you change, the product to a solve. You put that dollar amount in, you put their age and their duration. Be like, okay, well, you're going to have to put in $350,000 if you want to wait 3 years, or it's 300 if you want to wait 6. So you can back end into it. It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love all of the work that you guys do. I feel like you guys make things super simple for both
We try.
clients and agents to understand. You do. It's very straightforward and to the point. And so, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll here asking the first question is actually, would you like to get appointed with Delaware Life? So I went ahead and launched that poll. So I'll give you guys a few moments. We do check up with you guys. Helen, I know I'm not sure if you're on here, but I know you had requested some illustrations on this product. Um, and now you've heard most of it from Jay. The rest of it can come from us. And of course, you do have that new producer bonus available to you. So next, I will launch the next one. Close that out. I did mention our Life and Annuity Academy that's coming up first week of June. So go ahead and start responding there. We do have spots filling up, so the quicker you click this, I can give you a call, see if it'd be a good fit. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. And then last one, would you like more information on IAM's Marketing Dollars program? And again, I would highly suggest with Delaware Life and the market volatility, with Delaware Life coming out on top on income, and then with the market volatility, um, I've been seeing rates drop. I've been seeing more concerned clients. Now is a really good time for business. If your current marketers aren't talking to you about any kind of marketing reimbursement, any kind of marketing, highly suggest you to call one of your directors here if you're already contracted. If not, definitely give me a call. I'll be reaching out to you after this. That Delaware Life, I have been pushing that so hard ever since I heard about it, Jay. So definitely would love all of you guys to be taking full advantage of this while we have the rates where they're at right now. And you guys,
Absolutely.
you mentioned the S&P intraday on this as well, right? The
Yeah, yeah.
S&P
We have
intraday
the
is on
S&P
this
in, yeah, and the pricing on it's pretty favorable. So
too. Yeah, so
on this 50%. So
it's what is.
it's 50% on an income product. It's 75 on our 10-year accumulation. So that one's done quite well. We've seen some pretty strong returns on it through the years, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So that was something I definitely saw on that too. So, all right. Well,
Yeah, love the intraday one.
I do too. I do too. Anytime I see that on a product, I always get super excited, and you guys have a pretty good cap on the S&P. So again, like I
Yeah,
said, with the volatility of today, take full advantage while you can, folks. Um,
yes. Lock
all
in the
right.
rate tranche when you can. Now's the
Yes,
time.
100%. All right, EJ. Well, I do appreciate your time, and I thank you all so much for attending my webinar. I'll be reaching out afterwards, but if you have any questions beforehand, feel free to give us a shout at 800-255-5055. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.